And they're off. Ooh, looks like Xoneris forgot his timer. But it looks like we're playing on the English version. So, unfortunately, the run's going to be a little bit slower here. The Japanese version actually saves 3 minutes RTA for text. But it doesn't affect anything in-game time that loses more than a second.
All right. It's really hard to tell who's in the lead right now. But it's only a bit of the game, so we'll see.
Alright, sorry about that little Discord issue. Just changed server regions, should be a little bit better now. Anyways, now they're going to be heading off to the operations deck to pick up their first missile upgrade. The actual missiles.
Alright, so we've been having a little bit of technical difficulties with the voice, but it seems to be good now.
Okay, so Pollsmor is actually doing what he said he was gonna do. So, he told, at least me, that he was going to save every single save room in the entire game and still beat Crunchy. If he actually pulls this off, I'd be surprised. But now everyone has their missile upgrade. We start off with 10 missiles. Most runners will typically pick up 40 to 45 missiles. The runners that pick up 45 would just be picking those up for a little bit more consistency in early game. But it also makes one boss fight a little bit faster in late game. That we'll see anyone who picks up 45 saving in just a bit of time if they do it correctly. So we see the first bit of major RNG here. These are the Idors. These Idors can give a random amount of beams between 0 and 4, and then they will expose their vulnerable spot, and then it'll allow you to shoot them, and then it'll go back to the same 0 or 4 cycle again. But you can avoid one of those cycles by hitting 2 missiles at the same time on it, and you can limit it down to only 8 beams maximum. looks like both Herc and Crunchy are synced right now. So it looks like they had very similar RNG. Xoneris is having a very nice core fight here. Pollsmor also having a very nice fight. Looks like everyone had a very solid core. So Arrakis himself takes 15 missiles. He can give you anywhere from 1 to 2 rolls typically. But for the core, we can do double missiles on it. So it's basically the same thing as an Idor, where you just skip a phase of invulnerability. It saves about 3 seconds. Basically, for those normal cores, they have a square hitbox. So if you get them to run into 2 missiles at the same time, you could do double damage. And then also another thing, if you kill the core on the exact spot that the X power-up spawns on, it'll instantly become obtainable. So that's what we call a sweet spot. You can see Herc opting to skip the main deck missile while Krunchylex opting to pick it up. I would assume that Xoneris would pick it up and Pollsmor would... Pollsmor, I think, picks it up. I'm not 100% sure about that, though. We'll see in just a second here. He's opting to pick it up. So we see Herc pulling further ahead just because he gets that 6-second or so time save from not picking up those main deck missiles. So basically the whole reason for skipping that is because we only need, you know, a few missiles to get through here quickly. But the problem is if you have to keep your health up high because you need to have lots of missiles to keep going through fast. And we need a minimum of 3 missiles by the end of Sector 1 to take care of another Idor. So if Herc gets hit just a couple of times or gets really unlucky with drops, we can see him having to go down and grind on Hor nodes, which takes a long time.
So who do you have winning these 2 races?
I would say Paul's normally, but with his saving habit, as we've already seen, I really have no idea. He's already quite a bit behind of Crunchy, so if Crunchy can just keep up the pace, you know, have a really solid run for himself, there's a good chance that he could actually win, because Pollsmor continues to save. But if he dies, if Pollsmor dies, he's perfectly fine, because he'll be saving literally everywhere, so.
Very interesting strategy from Pollsmor.
Ooh, Herc having an extra pirate on the wall. Also looks like he did already take an extra hit, and he takes a hit from the crab. This might end up quite bad for him on missile count. Yeah, we can all see that Paul's, Crunchy, and Xoneris all have really good missile counts. Meanwhile, Herc running a little bit low, but should be okay.
Well, hopefully he gets at least 1 green X here, and he should be alright.
He doesn't, but he still has 6 missiles, so it's all good. Typically you want more than 3 missiles going to this Idor because then you can safely attempt doubles, but if you only have 3, it's not really that big of a deal. You just won't. You just probably shouldn't go for doubles unless you're going for PB. Wow. Getting a 0 beam. Very good RNG. See how Crunchy gets. Wow, a 1 beam. This is some really good RNG so far. Let's see, Herc. I think he got a double-double, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see, Paul's yet again saving. I think Xoneris got a 2-beam. Pollsmor already has 3. I think he got that double. Yeah, he did. So a nice 3-beam and a double. So for this core that Xoneris is on and Pollsmor is now on, doubling this core is a little bit more awkward because you have to hit 2 missiles on it at the same point, like Pollsmor just did right there. You have to hit 2 missiles on it at the same point at the exact same time. So there's a little bit of a setup for it where you basically just jump, you just like bonk your head off the ceiling and you just drop down and just fire missiles. Usually that'll get you at least 1 double during the fight, but those doubles are definitely noticeably harder than just normal, you know, not I-beam, of course. We see now that Herc is on his way to Sector 2. Crunchy is not that far behind at all.
So everyone leaving Sector 1 now, except for Pollsmor, who is considerably behind. Ooh, Herc taking some damage from a Zoro there, in an otherwise clean room.
Yeah, so each of these Zoros do 45 damage, which is quite a lot in this game. So, definitely want to be careful here, because there's a lot of enemies to avoid. Ooh. Taking a little bit of a tumble there. Meanwhile, Herc and Crunchy are... Well, Crunchy's about to pick up the bomb upgrade. Herc already has it. Bombs in this game are significantly worse than pretty much every other Metroid game. First off, you can't infinite bomb jump. Second, the bomb explosion time is ridiculously slow. And third, the bombs have like the smallest radius in the entire world. If you are like half a block away from what you want to blow up, it's not gonna work. Xoneris now has the bomb upgrade. Pollsmor is just about to pick it up in a couple seconds here. Meanwhile, both Herc and Crunchy, I feel, have been having really solid runs. I haven't seen pretty much any mistakes from either of them. And so again, for anyone wondering why Pauls is already behind, even though he's a higher seed, he's saving at every single save room in the entire game, and trying to see if he can beat Crunchy.
I saw him skip a few. I think he's actually getting worried. He did skip the one, leaving Sector 1 right next to the navigation room.
Oh, because he already got that one on the way in. So I'm assuming he's only just saving it those once.
Nah, if you're gonna do that, you should always hit the save station, even on your way back.
Alright, so here we have Zazabi. Zazabi is a really dumb boss. It can give you, on the first phase, it can give you anywhere from 0 to 3 extra jumps. On the second phase, it'll give you anywhere from 1 to 4. And on the third phase, it'll give you anywhere from 2 to 5. So you can get anywhere from 3 to 12 extra jumps. And 3 jumps saves a lot of time, but it's really rare. I think it's a 1 in 64 chance. So, I don't think we've seen one once in this tournament yet. I wasn't paying attention to Herc's or Crunchy's RNG, but we'll see what Xoneris gets.
I think Crunchy actually got some pretty good RNG, and I guess that double-double with the sweet spot.
Very nice core.
If I had to say, I think Crunchy would probably be ahead of his PB right now.
Looks like nobody is getting another 3 jump. Everybody's getting pretty bad RNG on that first phase. I think Pauls might get a 12 jump if he gets really bad RNG here. Oh, never mind. I think it was only 9. Maybe 10. Getting that nice sweet spot there.
So at this point in the race, Herc is considerably in the lead against all the other runners, but this is not a 4-way 1-on-1-on-1-on-1. It's more like 2 different matches that are happening at the same time. Xoneris and Hercules facing off against each other, and Pollsmor versus Krunchylex on the bottom. Yeah,
Yeah, so Crunchy is really not super far behind Herc still. I'm not sure if Herc lost time or if Crunchy even gained time, but
I'm pretty sure it's Crunchy being ahead of his PB. He's playing really well. He's getting those doubles. He had decent RNG for the first few Idors that we've seen. Also, decent RNG for Zazubi. And I have not seen any big mistakes so far from Crunchy. So he's really playing very well.
now everyone is back in, or not back in, but in Sector 4. Sector 4 is, I would say, where movement starts getting really complex. Just in those first couple rooms has some really fun movement that, for whatever reason, I find really satisfying to both watch and pull off.
And it looks like Herc will be the first to fight against Ceres. Getting that zero beam, very nice.
Alright, so Ceres has 50 health, and the charge beam has 3 separate parts. It has 2 actual beams and a flare that comes out around the arm cannon. If you hit all 3 parts, it does 26 damage. So as you see right there, Herc got a really good pattern, got a good Ceres fight, and ended up killing Ceres in 2 hits, which means he got all 3 parts both times. So very nice fight. Looks like Crunchy may have fallen in the water there. Ooh, missing another shot. There we go, that one looked clean. This allows both Xoneris and Pollsmor to catch up quite a fair amount. Oh no! He fell in the water again! Alright, at least he took care of the core. Yeah, because of that, both Paul's and Xoneris caught up quite a large amount. They're pretty much, 2 rooms behind at this point, compared to 40 plus seconds behind. Meanwhile, Herc is already out of Sector 4 almost. Talking to Adam here.
Alright, so now we have Herc in Sector 3. He's gonna be heading over to the data room for a super missile upgrade, but there are some locked doors that Herc will have to find the key to. So Herc unlocking the level 2 doors as he makes his way over to the data room. Meanwhile, Krunchylex just entering Sector 3, not that far behind. Xoneris finished with Sector 4 and is on his way to the elevator. Alright, coming up for Herc is the box fight. Herc actually, he has just enough missiles for a clean box fight and to have extra missiles afterwards for Sector 6. But if he tinks a few, he may be in trouble. We'll just have to see if we can get a really good fight here.
Ooh. He's not going to be able to get a perfect fight, but... Ooh. Has to wait an extra bomb cycle, plus let him walk a little bit further to the right. Still not a horrible fight, but he is really low on missiles now, so he'll definitely have to opt for at least one backup strat here.
He's going to have to find some creative way to get past these last two side hoppers without using any missiles. He tries to run right into him, but fortunately he got lucky there with the green X, and he should be all right for Sector 6. Those two side hoppers actually have a pretty high drop rate in terms of green X's, so you don't really have to be at full health. But then again, you know, if you really need missiles, being at full health is the best way to get some.
Ooh, looks like Crunchy was a little bit too far to the left for his missile shots to connect. Alright, still killing Box in a pretty good spot, but unfortunately had to wait a couple extra cycles. See how Xoneris and Pollsmor do their box fights. Ooh.
Oh, Xoneris having some issue here with this box fight. Hopefully he can recover.
Looks like he's got it under control now.
Just one more jump, that'll do it. There you go.
There it is. Paul's almost forgetting that save room as well. Looks like he's having a bit of trouble on those initial shots as well. But it looks like he's all good. Oh! Ooh, barely clutches it out before an extra cycle. I need to beat Rasu. Anyways, Herc is now in Sector 6. He is really low on health. This could end up really bad if this Ice X trolls him, and it didn't. Okay, he's all good. There's an E-Tank in this room. Whew. Yeah, but each of those Ice X's does 69 damage, so I'm assuming that he either took a hit from one of those, or took a couple extra hits leaving Sector 3. Meanwhile, Crunchy's now in Sector 6, still dealing with some text. Xoneris and Pollsmor will be there shortly. So coming up here, we have a kind of weird boss. It's a little annoying to pull off. Basically, we're going to be going for a 4-hit on this Megacorex. And in order to do that, you have to be inside of it and hit it with your flare and all 3 of your charge shots. So you'll take a lot of damage doing it. But if you do it just right, looks like Herc's gonna get it. There it is. So it's a very quick fight. And since now we have super missiles, double missiles are a little bit more difficult. Each missile flies just a little bit faster, and it also has a longer cooldown in between. That was a really solid fight. You got all 3 doubles, got the sweet spot, and had a really nice fight.
Alright, so Crunchy getting a 1-beam for the Idor. Let's see how well he does here for Megacorex. It's pretty good so far. 1 more hit ought to do it. Nice clean fight, gets the initial double. That one not so much a double. But that is a double. 1 more hit here for this Corex. And the sweet spot. Meanwhile, Xoneris also fighting Megacorex. Pretty good fight, although he didn't really get the small Corex in the position he wanted for doubles, so unfortunately it would be a miss there. But he does clean up very well and gets the Varia suit. Pretty decent fight so far. Hercules already on the way to Sector 5, where he will pick up the ice missile upgrade. Looking pretty good so far on Herc's end. He does get that speed booster and breaks through the floor. Sometimes that waiver can troll you and be in your way and hit you out of your speed booster, in which you'll have to go back and redo it. Crunchy on his way to Sector 5, not that far behind Herc. Xoneris just finishing up the nav room in Sector 6. Herc just like 2 rooms away from unlocking the yellow doors.
Yeah, so at this point, it seems like Herc is really just pulling really far ahead of everyone else. Crunchy is still in second, but not by a whole lot. He's only about a text and a couple rooms ahead of Pollsmor and Xoneris. But Herc is just pretty much, at this point, over a minute ahead of everyone else. Now he's picking up his ice missiles, kind of upgrade, kind of downgrade. Basically, you have to shoot 2 missiles to kill a lot of enemies, and it also doubles become a little bit harder for the same reason that they did for supers. But now you can actually freeze enemies, which allows you to obviously get out of places like that, and also to maybe make platforms for faster strats. So it's kind of an upgrade, kind of a downgrade, depends on which way you look at it.
I think it's an upgrade. Charge beams are already OP. There's no point in using missiles.
That is true. Looks like Crunchy's split went a little bit red there by, probably like 7 seconds or so. So it looks like he is finally behind his PB. Now Herc is in the emergency and Franker Z section of the run. Basically, the entire ship's going to melt down if we don't go back to Sector 3 into a lower part of it and turn back on the cooling systems. This movement requires a lot of really precise, this sector requires a lot of really precise movement to have a good time. But Herc does actually have a little bit less missiles than he would like to. Typically entering emergency you would want at least 16, but he only has 15. Still opting to use them though. Crunchy is just now starting his emergency. Meanwhile, Xoneris is doing the same, and Pollsmor not far behind.
Emergency in Sector 3.
Ooh, that was a very nice grab from Herc. He killed it, and then also got the sweet spot, so he was able to pick it up on the way down. Getting a very solid 425. It's definitely no time to laugh at. A really solid time there is anything above 430, but still a really good time is anything above 420. I would think that all of our runners could get definitely above a 420. Now Herc has the wide beam, which we get from finishing up emergency. The wide beam is, I guess, it's another same situation like ice missiles. It's both an upgrade and a downgrade. It's an upgrade in the way that your wide beam does more damage. If you connect all 3 parts with an enemy, it does 45 damage compared to a 26. But if wide beam also spreads your shots apart, so it's harder. If your enemy is small, you're never gonna hit all 3 parts on it. So it's another thing where it's, you know, upgrade and a downgrade. And according to someone in the chat, Herc seems to be about 17 seconds ahead of his PB on English, so that's a really solid run for him.
Herc now with a really strong lead. He's already on his way to animals while the rest of the runners are still in Sector 3. But it's important to know that despite that there are 4 players, Herc is only concerned about 1 player. He's only concerned about Xoneris because that is his opponent today.
Looks like Pollsmor is just about to pass up Xoneris here. So Herc, unfortunately, saved the animals, but we have to. So now that he's done with that, he'll be heading back to Sector 5 to pick up another upgrade of the power bombs. Power bombs are extremely loud, so thankfully we don't get to hear them for a while, as we're using Pollsmor's game audio. But they give you an insane amount of power bombs in the game. They give you 74 when you really only need, 6 really. But I mean, they start you out with 10, so you never run out on power bombs. Ooh, Xoneris and Pollsmor are synced right now. And there it is, Pollsmor has taken the lead officially. Taking the lead over Xoneris, I should say. Looks like Xoneris missed that shine break. He might have been a little bit too far back on our setup that we have. So Crunchy's still staying ahead of Pollsmor, but it's very close at this point. Crunchy's really gonna have to step up the pace here. Meanwhile, Herc is already back in Sector 5, again showing his quite large lead at this point. He'll be picking up power bombs very shortly.
Alright, so Herc now has the power bombs and will be making his way out of Sector 5 and on his way to the ship. Meanwhile, Krunchylex now in Sector 5 and we'll talk to Adam, or not yet, he will be in Sector 5. Talk to Adam.
sorry, I'm just getting so sleepy because of the amount of this text. It's so boring. Crunchy opting to run back and pick up that red X, which I don't really blame him for, although there isn't really a lot of risk to die in this upcoming area before we get another chance at a red X. Looks like Herc either opted to or had to pick up those extra missile pack, so he'll be running with 45 still. Oh yeah, we get our first listen at power bombs. Yeah, again they operate at about 200 decibels. That's pretty loud. So Herc is just about to enter the Yakuza fight. Yakuza can give you anywhere from 1 to 4 rounds. And if you get a 4 round, it's pretty bad RNG, loses quite a bit of time. But then that second phase, the second phase is pretty difficult to optimize. So we'll see if he can have a good fight here. Ooh. Getting a 3 round, so not great RNG, but not super horrible. See if you can have a good second phase here. Looked very clean. Missing that first double. Getting that one though. Looks like he'll be getting 2 doubles here. Very nice fight. Meanwhile, Pauls and Krunchylex on the bottom are pretty much high-fiving each other right there. Pollsmor opting to take that save at the ship. Yeah, this race is actually really close now between the two. They're only probably 20 seconds apart at this point. Alright, let's see what kind of RNG Crunchy gets here. Both Herc and Crunchy actually getting a 0 beam there. See if you can get a 1 round. Oh, not quite. Oh, getting a 4 round. That's really rough. Hopefully, I think he's really gonna be hoping that Paul's also gets a 4 round. Oh, may just happen. Oh, wow. Both of them getting a 4 round. So we see they stay just about even in RNG here. Meanwhile, Herc is already in Notori. Since he got an extra missile pack, this fight will be just a little bit faster. So it looks like Paul's had a very good fight there. Oh, and he might get the triple-double. And he does. Wow. That fight alone pretty much put Pollsmor about 10 seconds away from Crunchy. So this is a very close race now. Ooh, looks like Xoneris is having a bit of a trouble keeping that second phase kind of under control. He's definitely missed a lot of missiles. He's got more than enough. Ooh, Crunchy getting that nice zero beam on the Notori door. Meanwhile, Paul is getting a 4 beam. Oh wow, this is really close now. Oh my lord. Pollsmor pulls ahead of Crunchy because he got a sweet spot there. Wow. He's probably only 2 seconds ahead. This is a really close race right now. And now Crunchy pulls back ahead because Paul's decided to go show off that really hidden recharge room. Meanwhile, Herc is about to enter the Nightmare fight. See if he can have a good fight. Nightmare is kind of a difficult fight to optimize. Xoneris with a really nice sweet spot on that plasma core. Crunchy and Pollsmor are just about synced again. Wow. See how Herc can do on this last phase. Ooh. Looks like Nightmare got stuck on the wall just a little bit there. So he took a little bit of extra damage, but had... Ooh. Not very good manip. There we go. Alright, so it does look like he is on 47 pace. So, in order to get a 46 in game time, a really good kind of way to tell, if you pick up the gravity suit upgrade at around an hour on English, you are on 46 pace, and if you pick up the diffusion missile upgrade at around an hour on Japanese, you're on 46 pace. So right now it looks like he's on maybe low 47 pace, so still a really solid run from him. Pollsmor is going for Nightmare Space Boost, see if he can get it. Meanwhile, Crunchy getting the Shine Spark. Oh, Paul's messing it up there at the very end. Only had about 2 rooms to go. So, he did unfortunately lose a little bit of time. So now we see both Pollsmor and Crunchy about to start their own Nightmare fights. Pollsmor getting that really good minute. Crunchy is a little bit high, but can still barely hit him. So really solid fights from both of them. Pollsmor getting a triple double. Crunchy getting 2 doubles there, so still really solid. Almost getting that sweet spot, but just a little bit too high and to the left. Meanwhile, Herc is about to pick up his diffusion missile upgrade, and Xoneris is about to start his own Nightmare fight. You know, if a certain someone here dies, he hasn't saved in a while. So maybe he should go back to saving everywhere. Because if not, Crunchy will win the race. So Hercules is back into Sector 6, about to face off against the Xbox. So we're gonna take care of it like you should any Xbox on the planet. Shoot it down with missiles. I do think that Crunchy might actually be on PB pace. Because I'm pretty sure that Paul's might be on 49 pace right now. And Crunchy's PB, he's not that far behind, and his PB is a 50. So I wonder... I think he might be back ahead, because I haven't seen his timer go red yet. Oh, going just a little bit too early there. Having to re-enter the room. That's really rough. Only lost him a couple of seconds, though. Herc not even going for wave core doubles. Hopefully someone will go for wave core doubles, or else this race is gonna be really boring. Meanwhile, Herc just ejected an entire section of the space station and had it blow up in the middle of space. That's kind of cool. Meanwhile, Paul's just about to enter the Xbox fight. I really hope that he goes for wave core doubles. I don't think he will. He's going for him! Oh my lord! Unfortunately does not get one, but... Darn. At least he went for him. That's better than anyone could have asked. Shoutouts to Pollsmor for going for good strats. See if Crunchy goes for him. I don't think Crunchy will. He's been a major doubter of me. Yep. Boring. Meanwhile, Herc about to face what put him in losers in the first place. In his very first race of the tournament. He actually died to Ridley without saving and lost an hour and 10 minutes and ended up losing to the bottom seed in the entire tournament. So we'll see if he can kind of right his wrongs here and pay his revenge. Ooh. Oh no. Okay, looks like he'll be okay. Yeah, he's got it. The core doesn't do enough damage to really have it be that risky. So, looks like he's perfectly fine. Yeah, so I have not seen Herc splits go red at all this entire race, so there is still a good chance that he's ahead of his English splits. So he's definitely showing off why he is a top tier runner. He's consistently good at the game. And unfortunately for Crunchy, even though he had the lead for so long, it does seem like Pollsmor has just straight up stopped saving. Oh, jeez. Okay. So, it does seem like Pollsmor has stopped saving. So, at this point, Crunchy's gonna need to really step up his game to pull ahead at the very end here. Pollsmor getting the one beam. Meanwhile, Xoneris is about to enter the second longest text in the run. Pollsmor having a pretty clean Ridley fight. Is he gonna get the triple double? Oh, just barely missing the last one there. And Crunchy is now done with Ridley. Oh my. It looks like Paul's is going to sector 2? Okay. Maybe he'll show off a bit of reverse cleanup. Nope, just kidding. Yeah, just wants to go to sector 2 to do this text apparently. I was hoping that he was going to show off old school cleanup, but I think he realized that he was just a little bit too close for to Crunchy to do that safely. Meanwhile, Herc is fighting the SAX. It's kind of important. Oh, firing that first shot just a little bit too early. Looks like he got no doubles on this core. And he's fairly low health. That could have turned out really bad. But looks like he's alright. Pollsmor opting to save right before the SAX because there is a chance of a soft lock here. And also, you know, he could just mess up the strat and die. Meanwhile, Hercules is fighting the Omega Metroid, or is about to. And after that, it'll be finished up with the run. He's going for the upward strat, and he pulls it off just fine. And with that, the Omega Metroid's dead, and Herc will be Oh, Pollsmor. Hello, Herc.
Yay, I'm done. Hooray.
Don't have to play this game for another week. Yay.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I probably won't, though. The smart thing to do would be to play it, but I probably won't because I'm dumb.
Imagine him playing Fusion.
I have to, I just did.
Pollsmor got a triple-double on the ice core.
Paul's more behind me. Doesn't he play this, like, all the time?
He also saved at, like, every single save room for the first, like, 3/4 of the run. Oh,
Wow.
Crunchy!
What a chicken.
Darn, Crunchy unfortunately dies to the SAX. I'm not sure if that was the actual SAX or the core. That's
Dang.
rough.
Where's
Still-
Xoneris?
Xoneris is heading to SAX right now. Darn. Crunchy still had a very good showing. He was definitely in the lead there for a long time. And it was still really close. They were probably only a minute apart at that point.
Whoa. Dang.
Looks like Paul's is showing off just a little bit of a cleanup. No big deal.
It was sex, apparently. That's unfortunate. The stun lock on him, that's probably why.
Anyways, Xoneris is really close to dying. If he takes a hit from the ice core here, he dies. So that's not good. Oh no. Oh, this is scary. Oh my god. Alright. Wow.
Oh, jeez, oh man. I was smelling a fire the entire time I was doing that race. Super, like, worried that it was, like, something like some like electrical fire that was, like, about to happen or some wires melting. Apparently there's a bonfire going on across my yard.
Oh, at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's been going on since this morning. I don't know. I smelled it and I was like, what the heck? Our posted is plus 816, and I was super concerned for him.
Yeah, Pollsmor ended up finishing 8 minutes behind his PB there.
This is Japanese splits, to be fair.
Yeah, still like lost 5 minutes. Definitely saving there, lost him a lot of time.
I had a really good pace going on, it's just I sucked. I think that was my biggest problem, was just me being terrible. You could play Phazon. Wait, was it Phazon that, who was talking smack last time, and I said I was hoping that I get to play them. I think it was Phazon.
Well, I mean, you get your wish.
Might have been you. I don't remember him.
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? I think it totally was him because I expected Box to beat him.
Oh.
Beat him. The only time that I'd actually be able to face him would be losers round 7. But he won and lost to Ross, so that means I get to beat down on him next. Yay!
Yeah, so looking ahead, Pollsmor has won the race.
I won the race.
He will be facing off against Resren in winners round 3. And meanwhile, Herc will be facing off against Phazon Knight in the next round of losers.
I feel bad for anybody that I have to play in losers.
The entire losers field is just an absolute minefield because we have Scotty, Destructor, and you all in losers.
What happened to all them?
It's ridiculous. Scotty died to Wave Core and so did Destructor. So all 3 of your guys are in the top half of the losers bracket. So anyone that ends up down there is absolutely screwed. You guys will have to play it out.
Oh, if I beat Phazon, that means I get to play Destructor. Bring it on, my dude.
At least you'll be able to play Japanese.
True. It's not a terrible
Anyways,
thing.
Xoneris is also finished. So GG to everyone. Unfortunately, Crunchy could not finish the run, but that's alright. He'll be able to show off his skills against Dan React in Losers Round 2. And Xoneris, unfortunately, already being in Losers, is out of the tournament. So GG to Xoneris, well played. He'll definitely be around next time.
Just got like a little bit too hacked. I could fell. I think if it was that actually had lost in the first match between me and Sophia, then it might have been a fairly close race for the 2 of them. Actually, I think it might have been one that Xoneris would have won.
Yeah, so looking ahead at our schedule here, our next race, the only one that we have scheduled right now actually, is tomorrow at 3 p.m. EDT. That'll be Mr. Shasta versus Mandatobi. That'll end off winners round 2. And the winner of that will be playing Mickey Now, who won his race yesterday. So good luck to both of them in their race tomorrow. Oh, looks like Xoneris is ready to be interviewed. Hello, Xoneris. GG.
Dude, GG, my dude.
Hello. Meh. I mean, GG to you, not GG to me. Because
I
I
had a
suck.
pretty iffy run as well. By my standards, at least.
I think my first run was way better than this one. You promised me to die at Ridley. You betrayed me.
Sorry. It actually went okay. It started out really badly, though. It almost ended in a death. He was being really feisty again.
I think he got me pretty low as well.
I think 175 or 174 or something like that. It was still too close for me to, I'd rather not have been that low on health. End of it. Now that was fun, I guess.
Well, I almost pulled a crunchy. SAX got me to like 40 health.
Oh no. That would have been unfortunate.
Pretty much. Oh, hey, look! It's a PB!
Oh, wow.
Nice.
GG.
Hey, Lemao.
Got an English PB, but I beefed it super hard at the end. Like super hard.
There you can see how seriously I take any percent when this shit run just got a PB.
It's pretty funny. Like any percent help, just spotty any percent can be sometimes. A
Yeah,
hole
you
and I
can-
automatically lose 4 seconds. I'm like, what the heck?
You can definitely just randomly fluke out a run in this category. Or sometimes
Yeah.
you'll seem to play bad, or sometimes you'll seem to play well and end up missing PB by like a lot.
Yeah, I just
Just kinda
PB'd by 1
depends.
in-game minute.
Nice.
Not bad though. It's still PB.
Yeah, I agree. I think if I take this category more seriously, I could get in sub 50 easy.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It just takes a little bit of practice to get sub 50, and then it's like once you get it, then it's just, you keep getting it.
Where's Ross, by the way?
That's a good question.
I
I don't
miss
think I've
his
heard
voice.
him. I don't think I've heard him in like the last 30, 45 minutes.
Jeez.
In before he was muted all the time.
Probably fell asleep.
Wow.
Maybe he's too busy playing Final Fantasy 14.
Who knows?
Awesome.
So-
Alright.
Crunchy, no interview?
Nah, he's still recovering
just
from
sick.
being sick.
Oh, I see.
Alright. Well, I guess looking ahead on speed gaming, we have a little bit of a break here. At 2 p.m. EDT, we have Diddy Kong Racing on Speed Gaming 2. And then at 3 p.m., we have Ori on Speed Gaming 1, Super Metroid, and Super Metroid Tournament on Speed Gaming 3 and Speed Gaming 4. But yeah,
Nice.
I think that's all we have. You guys have any last words?
Yeah. Okay, Herc, don't disappoint me now. You need to go really far in the tournament so I can say I lost to the winner. Or at least second place or something like that.
Try my
You have all my trust, buddy.
Man, I appreciate it. It really feels good to know that somebody has confidence in me when I don't even have confidence in myself.
When everybody else wants you to die somehow.
Either to Ridley or Xbox. To the final two time, but didn't end too well. Final three, that's what it was.
Alright, I think that pretty much wraps it up for us. Unfortunately, Rossi was like dead, so that's good.
Well,
You know, hopefully
yeah.
that happens in our race.
Rip and Peps Rossi will be missed.
Alright, well, yeah. GG again to all. Oh! Paul's is showing off the 3DS cam, I guess? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, GG to all 4 of our racers. It was fun to watch and
Dude.
commentate. Be sure to follow all of them.
On.
And yeah, there it is.
Thanks for the race. Take it easy, guys.
Yeah, have a good one.